Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Broder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings with a hand-over-hand method, and then I paint the rest. So, I decided to do an all green thing happening here. So we'll see. A long time ago, I did an all green one, and it's been quite some time since I've done it. Years and years and years. So, you know how that goes. But I just thought, I'm gonna do one. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I just spent 20 minutes trying to convince my phone holder to work, and it's probably still in the wrong position. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Which made my light be in even worse position. And I'm just batting 1,000 with everything that I'm doing. So, and now I've got like a tree. So we're going, I guess, kind of green tropical something. I don't know. We'll see what's happening here. We're just gonna go with the flow. That's all I can say. Oh, we got stuff happening down here. We're just gonna make. We're just going with it. We're all a mess today. Today's been one of those days that I felt okay, but yet I didn't feel very good. For those of you that are new, I've been going through breast cancer treatments. I had my surgery, I've had radiation, and now I'm I had chemo first, and then I had my surgery, then the radiation. Now I'm in maintenance infusions. And so these maintenance infusions are not nearly as hard on me as what the chemo infusions were. But there's still like, it's weird how some days food, just nothing I eat tastes right, or tastes like you would think like it used to taste or anything. And some days it's just everything tastes sour or yucky, or whatever terminology you want to use. And there are days that I can handle different foods. I put way too much, let's just all agree, I put way too much paint on my paintbrush, and that hence is why I'm dropping stuff. We'll figure it out. It'll be okay. But today was one of those days that was just, everything just was, nothing was horrible. I just have had a lot of stomach stuff. And so it's just whiny McWinerson here. But that is, like I said, nothing compared to what the chemo infusions were. So I feel very fortunate that it's on the other side of where I was. I'm very thankful for getting through that part of it and dealing with more of the, like, just the maintenance part and everything. So, it's much more manageable. I just, like I said, some days are not my faves. But, it's much better. So Owen had a pretty good day. We didn't do too much. He at first said he wanted to go someplace, then he said he didn't want to go someplace, and honestly I didn't push too hard since my stomach wasn't feeling that great. I didn't feel like going too many places myself, so I really, like I said, didn't push us to go. But we played some games and we laughed a lot. He doesn't always get the connections of, like, jokes, but yet he is quite funny. And then sometimes he thinks something he says is funny, but he knows that it's not. Like, he wants to talk about eyeballs and things like that quite frankly I don't want to talk about. I'm as much medical stuff as I've dealt with all my life. It's quite interesting how, like, that is far from what I ever want to talk about or think about or be a part of. And he senses that. He understands, because that's the things he wants to talk about. And so he knows that type of thing is really hard for me, and that makes him want to deal with it even more. So, we have to come to, like, this agreement, but it's not always like what he would much rather talk about the stuff that he knows sends me into little moments, because he thinks, again, that it's hilarious for him to be doing that to me. And I get it. I mean, I always say, is it age? Is it Owen? Is it autism? Because, he's 13, and what 13-year-old doesn't want to, make their mom mad or get them, joke with them or whatever, so so much of it is to me a lot of age-related behaviors, but he doesn't always know when to stop or not do something. So that's kind of where some of that gets stuck in moments. I think we're about there where we're gonna go today. I feel like I started something with this one, and now I think I made it worse, but it's okay. It'll dry. Interesting. It'll dry, and it'll tell a story of what happened. That's what I always, we can't just make it all make sense. And sometimes, when things like this, it's partly about like different layers and what's happening as we go along there. So, but anyways, my boy is so excited because we're gonna go swimming on Tuesday, and he's thrilled about that. And I haven't told him yet, but if all falls into plan, next Friday we're gonna go. He wants to go to these stores, Dollar General, and he's picked out. He says it's 4, but I told him one of them. He didn't. He's now calling it Walgreens, but it at first he thought it was a Dollar General as well. He doesn't always know like names of places and things like that, so he thought it was a Dollar General, but once I told him it was that, then he's been saying, but at first he wanted to go to 4 different ones, so now it's 3 Dollar Generals and 1 Walgreens, because he wants to push the cart around, which is fun. So which he never used to want to do anything like that, so for him to want to go to stores and shop around, as he says, it's big news. So when I'm painting this, like this brighter here, those are neons, and so when it dries it's going to have a little bit more of a sheen to it, so I'm excited. I always put O for Owen. I always say I love to watch paint dry, and I always like the neon ones because of that. L and B. So there we go. All right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.